ridiculous trial. The evidence stacked against him, even though he was innocent. He'd been nowhere near that bloody disused track. He'd only witnessed the police pull the car from the reservoir, yet forensics were able to match gun residue to his jacket. The only way that could have happened was if someone had taken the gun and used it themselves. But there had been no other prints on the gun, only McTavish's. "I've been fucking set up!" he shouted again, although this time his voice wasn't so loud. It was hopeless. He knew that. It hadn't taken the jury long at all. He'd worked for the Frasers over the years, and the jury had been informed that he hadn't been happy with how they were treating him. That had obviously been motive enough in their eyes. He'd had no chance. His fists and arms began to ache, and he pulled away from the door. Turning, he surveyed his cell and stared at the bunk bed in the corner. "Fucking hell," he hissed as he sat down on the bottom bunk. "Fucking murder. I might be some things, but I'm not that." The cell was cold, dull. He'd never been in prison before. Always managed to keep himself out of the limelight. He knew who'd set him up. Someone much bigger than the Frasers could have ever aspired to be. It was blatantly obvious. He just couldn't get his head around how. And he wasn't going to say it in court. Doing so would be like signing his own death certificate. Now he was fucked. In prison for a minimum of 25 years. He'd be in his 60s before he was even eligible for parole for something he didn't do. The cell door clicked open, and James looked up to see a man enter. The screw behind him shut the door loudly, and the man glanced down at him. "You look rough, mate," the man said. "Cheers," McTavish replied. "You're the lad who murdered the Fraser brothers, aren't you?" McTavish shook his head. "It wasn't me." "Ha! Aye, heard that one before." The man laughed before moving across the small cell and pulling a chair out from under a table in the opposite corner. He lit a cigarette and offered one to McTavish, who shook his head in response. "I'm not lying. Do I look like the type who could murder 2 gang bosses?" His new cellmate looked him up and down and sniggered. "They do say it's the ones you least expect who can do the most damage. Look, mate, innocent or guilty, you're in here for the foreseeable. So my advice would be shut up. If you want to survive in here, you'll need to just get on with it. No offence, but I can't be arsed listening to you or anyone else whining. Got it?" McTavish stared at him in shock but said nothing. Instead, he remained silent. This was day 1 of a long sentence. On some level, his new cellmate was right. If he wanted to survive in this shithole, he was going to have to keep his head down. For the next 20-odd years. It didn't matter that he knew who killed the Frasers. He'd have been as well to do it himself, since he was now locked up. No one would ever believe him. Part 1. Then, 2013. Chapter 1. Cara Fraser watched as her husband, Kyle, raised his arms in celebration as he won his 3rd FIFA game in a row against the boys. Ryan and Sean shook their heads and threw cushions at him, complaining that he was a cheat and they were never playing with him again. "Ah, come on, boys, don't be sore losers," he laughed. "You'll be as good as your old man one day." "Shut up," Ryan said. But Cara could see a hint of a smile on his elder son's face. "One day we're going to beat you over and over, and we'll laugh in your face for hours on end." Kyle laughed loudly and sat down on the sofa between Ryan and Sean. He pulled Sean into a headlock and ruffled his head. Cara used to complain about their play fighting all the time when they were younger, worried that it might lead to them getting hurt. But then she realised that they all gave as good as each other, and seeing her boys bond with their dad just made her love them and Kyle even more. "No one will ever beat me. I'm the king of FIFA." "You're quite sure of yourself?" Cara remarked. Sean pulled out from Kyle's grip and bounced off the sofa. "You might be the king of FIFA, but we're the champs at wrestling, and you know we'll kick your arse in any challenge." "Oi, young man," Cara said. "Language."